thank you both so much for your time. We really, really appreciate it. To kick us off, why don't you just tell me a little bit about what your film is actually all about?
I started in 1983, and I got very interested in this band of, these young kids, and Miller, and Sloan, three brothers and a friend, from a neighborhood friend, from downstairs, a neighbor downstairs. And they were very hot at the time. They were, and they played at CBGB's. They also went to music and art high school, and so they had the big, local following. And success was any minute. They thought it was going to happen. And then I went back in '88 to see where they were at, and they were still pursuing the dream, but life was intervening. And then I put it aside for a while. And then I went back starting in 2007 to see what interested me was where the creativity took them. And it was very, and of course with time, time creates any story, so as I said before, it's very creative. I mean, you always can make a wonderful story. So it ended up being kind of like a 7-Up of a rock band. Little did I know, when I started out, that's what it would be. But I think that's sort of a way to think about it.
We didn't know that anyone cared this much. I mean, we were a big deal locally in New York in the early '80s, but it was so long ago. And no, I mean, she kind of reminded us and had us sort of look back at, how sort of wild our lives were and how close we were to bigger fame, and because we played all the big clubs back in the early '80s, CBGBs and all that stuff. So no, it was exciting to have someone who really took an interest in and was ready to put a whole film together. And
of course, you mentioned the kind of idea that it's almost like a 7-Up.
Yes.
Yes. What do you think it is that people find so interesting about watching people grow up on camera? People find it so intriguing. What do you think it is about that people love so much?
The surprises, and I love. My films are a little quiet, and I sort of like implicitness more than explicitness. And the fact that they thought one thing in 1983, and that they thought something so different in 2007, 8, 9 when we filmed them, to me is dramatic and interesting. And to see them develop and where they took all that experience, I just thought that was pretty fascinating.
And how does it feel, kind of knowing that people are going to be watching your story and people can go and see your band and where you all are now?
Yeah, it's a whole new experience. There's people in different cities, because it's been playing at one festival after another, that we're sort of getting new fans, young people. It played at a school up in Vancouver, and I see now that there's like sort of new fans like on our YouTube page looking at things, and it's great.
I think there's a lot of people who also see the film and relate it to their own experiences with creativity and their dreams, and especially artistic dreams, and so there's a lot of people, especially a lot of people that I know who've seen the film, feel a real connection with it. And in younger people, I think too, kind of see like, oh, I can pursue this, and even if I don't make it, it could still be successful for me as a person. And I think that's one of the strongest things that comes out of that film.
And when people go to see the film, do you have anything in particular you hope they kind of experience or maybe take away from it?
I mean, I think just it's inspiring. Just about, we did our thing, and even as kids, we kind of went to the beat of our own drummer, both musically and also, although we didn't really make it big, we stuck to our guns as far as creatively and just the way we were as creative musicians, and we were never really, it was hard to really peg what our sound was, and I don't know, I think that's part of what can make, there's really no one way to do things, I think, in art and in music and in anything, so I think that's one message that the movie gives to people.